I was just finishing up watching Eminence in Shadow, the latest episode that came out yesterday. I think it came out yesterday. Anyways, if you haven't watched The Eminence in Shadow, you gotta watch it. It's a weird name to say, The Eminence. Am I even saying that right? Anyways, whatever. This is One Piece chapter 1096 review slash reaction slash discussion, because this one I completely haven't read it. I haven't even read anything. Like I don't know anything about it. I just know I think Garp shows up and Whitebeard and Rocks and a bunch of people show up. Right? That's all I know so far. So we're starting off with these sadistic bastards just saying, there's 150 human rabbits out there. Go and collect them all. You know, like Pokemon, gotta catch them all. Well, they don't really catch them. They kill them. And they say, we got 13 super rare ones. So we got 13 super rare rabbits you guys can catch and kill. Now remember, a single kill will also earn you a skill bonus. We've prepared extravagant prizes for every single winner of this prestigious event. And we get like this dude in Garling, I think that's Garling, and he's like, you pests can just sit back and watch the pro, you know, exterminate these rabbits. And I mean, like, holy crap, dude. Like, we got like people crying and shit, like running for their lives. I don't know if these are like the slaves that they brought with them, but oh my gosh. And then like back there we see the Tenryubito, and there's like a column, like a Colosseum type like background, and then that's where the boxes are at with the columns, and there's 6 boxes. I would like to assume those are devil fruits. And I mean, like, these guys are like crying and shit. There's one like carrying her baby, and it's like, oh my gosh, dude. Now these Tenryubito guys do this on a daily. Remember, this is like their annual like hunt, I guess. How people go hunt deers and stuff. This is their hunt. Like, this is, oh my gosh. So now we get like this character underneath, and I would like to assume maybe this is one of like the God's Knights, because he's like, they don't look like Tenryubitos. They don't have the bubble. So I assume this is like one of God's Knights. And I think it's a girl or a guy. I'm not sure what gender this person is, but they're like, the man-mayor family is going to win. Now we got another, you know, Tenryubito name. This is another maybe Celestial Dragon family name. And now we have like another guy, and he's like wearing like one of those like gas masks, and he has like a sword, and he tells Garling like, hey, don't count on victory yet, Garling. And then there's another one, I think that's a girl, and she's just kind of there, they're like, like, whatever. And then the people are just like running away, like crying and shit, like, oh my god. And then the announcer's still going over like, yeah, we got like a food stand over here and shit, so you know, when you guys are tired, you guys can come relax. And then the Tenryubito just starts shooting up. Deuce, deuce, deuce. I don't even think they started yet. They don't even give a crap. They just started shooting their guns. And the announcer guy's like, please stop. We haven't started yet. I'm still explaining this shit. Who else is going to do my job? And like the people are like crying and shit. And the Tenryubito are just like, yeah, woo! And they're just like guns blazing. They don't even give a crap. And the guy's like, there's only 1 hour. Like, relax. Let them like, you know, let them run away. Give them fear, and then we go kill them. And it's like, bro, we cut away, and it says, you want me to go to the boonies to fight? What's the point? And he's like, I can't say, Garp, but I need you to go. And this is Kong, the former fleet admiral. Now remember, this is 38 years ago. This is a long time ago, 37, something like that. And Kong is like, our reports haven't been verified, but if they're real, holy shit, is this gonna turn into a real disaster real quick? And Garp replies to Kong and says, this is about the Celestial Dragons Festival field trip thing, right? Why should I care if they're in trouble? I always said it'd come back to bite you if you mess with the Hachinosu. It's their own fault for poking the hive. Now that's kind of ironic and funny at the same time, because he kind of did that, you know, in the chapters previous to this. So I just find that like a little funny. And then he says, what do they expect? You don't just swipe the crown jewel of Pirate Island. Of course they come back and get it. It's like, whoa. So Tenryubito went to Hachinosu and took someone's shit? Whoa, that's crazy. And Kong's like, where in the world did you hear that? Now we get this shot of Garp, and he looks just like Luffy. And there's like a girl in the back. She's like playing volleyball. He's like relaxing at a beach and shit. Now he's just relaxing, and then he's telling them like, you know what? That's their business. Let them handle it. I ain't going. And Kong's like, well, see about that. We were really expecting Goldie Roger to show up. It seems Roger is on his way to God Valley. And Garp immediately is like, what the fuck? Why didn't you just lead with that? I'm on my way immediately. And his face is like, oh shit. Now, we cut to Hachinosu. And it says, damn it, they beat us to it. The rock pirates have already set sail. We gotta get going too. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And then a bunch of pirates are like, this is gonna shake the pirate world to its core. And they're all like, yeah. Now, we cut back to God Valley. And Ivankov is like, I have never witnessed so many ships gather around in a single island. As you can see, we are trapped. I can't do his voice, bro. It just sounds like I'm a vampire every time I try to do it. Nobody will be able to escape. See, I got like an accent when I did it. I'm just not gonna do it. And he says, and one day, it will all be forgotten and lost to history. The God Valley incident. Nobody knows what happened there. So he was right. And then we get like the coast of God Valley and there's like a shit ton of ships. And he says, they chose this place for their little murder festival just to claim the natural resources here. 10,000 civilians have been branded rabbit for this hunt. And we see another shot of like moms and like people holding their kids like this and they're getting like shot at by the Tenryubito. And the Tenryubito are riding like ostriches or some shit. What the fuck is that? There's a number on the side of whatever he's riding. What is that? It looks like an ostrich to me because it has like the two hind legs, but it has like a number on it. So maybe it's a branded animal? I don't know. Now we cut back to where Ivankov is. And he's like, not a single one will still be alive in 3 weeks come time. Can you believe that? How is this world fair? You know, and he's like, holy shit. And we see the back of Kuma and like the other slaves that are there. They literally have a fucking target on their back. And I think Kuma has like an arrow stuck to his back. And some old guy is like, yeah, but they said that if you know, if we survive for 3 weeks, they'll let us go free, you know? Like I just have to survive for 3 weeks. And Ivanka's like, are you stupid? You're not gonna survive 3 weeks here. And he says, in all their previous hunts, there were exactly 0 survivors, old man. You're not gonna fucking live through this. And he's like, oh, well, come on, you whippersnapper. You don't know how clever we old people are. And another one of the dudes says, what? But why would they give us false hope? How dare they lie to us? And it's like, okay, maybe for like us, the viewers, we know how much of a scumbag these people are. But maybe these people who have never seen Celestial Dragons, maybe they just hear about them, you know, like how we hear about like whatever other worldly figures. And we could only imagine how they live and what they do. We don't really know their personalities. We don't know anything else about them. I assume this is kind of what they see them. You know, they're like these big people in the One Piece world and they just don't know who they are, so they don't really care. So the fact that they told them that, they're like, oh, so we just gotta survive and then we'll be freed. So we don't gotta worry that much, maybe, you know, but yeah, they're assholes. Now he goes on and says, there is no thrill for them in killing people who have gave up. They want you to run for your life and scream, uncle. Like, they want you to be terrified. He says, you will never win. Focus on escaping altogether. Now we cut back. Oh, so they are riding like some kind of animal. So we see St. Garling. And and the announcer's like, oh my god, and with a stunning turn of events, St. Garling scores a quick 10,000 points. And then they're like, help me. Now remember, I think he was docked 10,000 points. So he scored another 10,000 points like that. And he's like, he's just going ham. I think that's a duck. I'm still trying to figure out what this animal is. What is this animal? Anyway, he's just slicing and dicing through people. And they're like, and he's just going, chink. I think he just has like a sword and he's just doing this. Now we see a Denden Mushi, the transponder snails, the one that like capture video. And he's just like, stare. And we see Castle Pangea in the background. Now we cut to this, like, I think he's a fishman maybe? Because he has like, yeah, he's a fishman. Because you can see his webbed fingers. And he has like the shark teeth, like, you know, like kind of like Arlong when he like chomped down on like fucking concrete and shit. I think that's what he's doing here. And he's like, all right, it came off. He's like, what a strong jaw, surprise. No surprise for a shark fishman. Oh, see, I didn't even read that. This is, like I said, this is my first time reading it. He's like, wow, you know, what mighty big jaws you have there. What are those teeth for? And he's like, oh my gosh, dude. I've never been praised like this. Like, wow, thank you. Now we see Guinea. And she has, she's just staring at 2 transponder snails. And she says, the tournament prizes are our key to our escape. And then people behind her are like, what? The prizes? The fuck? And she goes on and says, one of them is the strongest class of devil fruits. If you eat it, it'll allow you to transform into an azure dragon. They've also got the pawpaw fruit, which can be used to blast yourself and others to distant islands. And Ivankov is like, if any of us can eat one of those fruits, we're fucking out of here. Like, we're good. We're just gonna dip immediately and we're good. We're leaving. He's like, there's only a dozen of us, but I think we can do this. I really think we can do this. And some dude's like, dude, but it's impossible. It's literally in the middle of the island. We're like at the edge and like there's guards and then Sangarling's there. Like we can't win this. Now Guinea goes on and says, I'm a pro thief and a wiretapper. 2 weeks back, I leaked all this info to the outside world. Yo, that's crazy. 2 weeks, so they had this prepared, like we're gonna go to God Valley, we're gonna have these devil fruits, and it's gonna be like a wild hunt, like a tournament type shit, execution thing for them. A sports festival, the UA Sports Festival. And she leaked all this 2 weeks prior to the event. That's insane. And Guinea goes on and says, a plan like this needs plenty of decoys running around after all. Ah, okay. I mean, kind of dark, but okay. Kuma immediately is like, I can help. And he's like, yeah, my size and bulkiness will help me survive longer than most people. So, you know, I'm the perfect meat shield. And he goes on and says, I'd hate to see anyone die when we attempt this. And Ivankov does his signature, hee-haw! You know, I can't do that either. Voice actors are so good, man. How do they do this shit? Bell said, Kuma, I will not allow any of you to be killed. We're escaping God Valley together. And everyone's like, yeah! And we see Guinea and her face is like, oh, you know, like she's shocked for seeing what Kuma, you know, said. See, now, I feel like this is gonna be Bonnie's mom. I just feel it, you know, I feel it. We cut to the coast of God Valley. Double page spread. Ships are blowing up. Boom, boom, left and right. Cannons are going off. Bam, bam, boom, boom. Fizzle, spat. And we see a marine guy and he's like, what the? Oh shit! It's the rock pirates! And they're like, why are they here? And he's like, there's no time to worry about that. We're being swarmed by notorious pirates. What the hell could they be after? Then boom, boom, cannons, boom. Now we hear someone say, give up, you lousy Marines. Follow my lead, crew. Charge! And they're just ramming through everybody. Now, we cut and we see this epic, oh my gosh, dude. We see a young Whitebeard, you know, big, tall, strong man, just standing in the front. And they say, don't rush ahead, Rocks. And since when did I say I'd let you idiots give me orders? And then we see someone on his back, and that's Stussy. But like, Miss Buckingham, you know, the old lady? And she's riding on top of Whitebeard. We see young Big Mom. More like young, thin, and sexy mom. Jesus. I mean, what? Anyway, she's like, finders keepers, that sound good to the rest of you? It'll be all mine. And we see also a young Kaido. Oh my god, dude, this fucking pirate crew should be illegal. It would be pointless in your hand, Lin Lin. And it still seems like their dynamic has always been them two. Whitebeard's over here by himself with Stussy. And we see this one lady with a snake. And, oh, just like Boa. Body. She's wearing kind of like that Boa outfit too. She has like the crop top open chest thing. Curly hair. And she says, back off, Stussy. You're only making a fool of yourself. We also see Shiki. And he's like, that's rich coming from you, Gloriosa. So the girl that has the anaconda with her is Gloriosa. And we see this guy that's like to the left and he's like drinking booze and he's like, my precious treasure. Now, I think we seen this guy at Thriller Bark. He was with that like pack that had like the big iron dude, the iron giant guy. Now we get a close-up of each and every one of those characters. Whitebeard goes on and says, that moron Rocks, he's about to fucking lose sight of our goal. We gotta confirm it's here first. Shiki goes on and yells, who died and put you in charge, Newgate? I'm gonna blow all of you out of my way. Big Mom, who looks extremely similar to Bonnie, I'm not even gonna lie, says, I'll snatch it out from under all your pathetic noses. You'll have your damn heads in the clouds. I'll have it before you don't even know it. And Kaido says, looks like Roger's on his way as well. He's one person eye, and he looks pissed off. And Big Mom says, One thing at a time, rookie. That's so funny. So 38 years ago, Kaido was a rookie. He was a rookie pirate. Stussy goes on and says, this is gonna be a decisive battle. And the guy drinking goes on and says, that's right, don't forget it. Now we see Gloriosa and oh my gosh. She goes on and says, today's the day we settle this. Now you could tell their whole crew is completely dysfunctional. And then we see two guys. There's like one with like an iron face. Wait, we seen that guy to throw the bark. That's the big iron guy. Now not one, not two, but three double page spreads in this chapter. We hear like Marines and like other Tenryubito and they're like yelling out, the Rocks crew has made landfall! And Tenryubito like, what are you stupid Marines doing? What would you do if something were to happen to us? And we hear, come in, come in. Yes, I can hear you. Say that again? There's more ferocious, notorious, scary-ass pirates coming? And they're like, how did this leak? This was supposed to be a secret event. We're still not certain what the pirates are after, but please be advised, the West Coast is a danger zone. The Roger pirates have docked there. And we see Goldie Roger, young Goldie Roger. He has the straw hat, like how Luffy kind of carries it, on his back. No mustache. We see young Rayleigh. We see Scopper Gabon in the back, and he's also wielding his axes. And everybody's like, oh, the Roger pirates are here too? And Roger's like, finally, do you have any idea how I felt this past year? And Scopper Gabon's like, Roger, no using the captain card to call dibs this time, alright? And Rayleigh's like, huh, this looks tough. And we see Saint Garling. And he's there toe-to-toe against the Roger pirates, I would like to assume. And he's like, pull the Marines back and see to it that the Celestial Dragons are protected. What a disgrace. Why even bother surrounding the island with ships? Now he goes down and says, God's Knights, stand ready. We cut to the other side of the double page spread. And we hear, reinforcements have arrived. It's Vice Admiral Garp. And everybody's like, Garp, Garp! And all the Marines are like, yeah, we're saved! Woo! And Garp gives no crap. He's immediately like, just tell me where the hell Roger's at. On one side, we got the Rocks pirates, and on the other we have Roger. And they're yelling out, it's absolute mayhem out there. We couldn't have asked for a better opportunity, says Ivankov. And it seems like they made their way towards where, the boxes were at the columns and shit. And Kuma's looking at a devil fruit, and it has a paw on it. And he's like, is this thing it? And Ivankov is like, yeah, I don't know which one's which, so just eat it. I just love that. That's so funny. Big Mom just shows up and boom, right in the chest to Ivankov. Boom, puts him down, grabs the fruit and says, whew, that was a close one. And Kuma's there like, oh shit. And she looks and says, you hand that shit over too. And Ivankov's like, Kuma, eat it, hurry up. Stick it in your mouth. Eat it. He's like, to save them. If we manage to get a single person off the island alive, we win. And Kuma's over here like, he's like trying to eat the whole thing. And Big Mom's in the background like, this fucking kid. Now, he turns around, boom, smacks right in the face. Or smacked right in the face, I should say. And we see St. J. Saturn. And he's like, you're the Buccaneer brat. You can either live as a slave or die as a slave. Nothing else can be tolerated for someone of your ilk. That is what the tides of time have decided. And Kuma's like, are you someone important? That's so funny. He's like, I don't understand how someone can be born to be more or less important. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's like, if you're born to be a slave, then what's the point of being born at all? If I have some kind of power now, I'm gonna use it to save as many people as I can. As much as I possibly can. Just like Nika. Dude! Now, see, like, him sending the Straw Hats to different islands to train, it's just starting to connect more dots, and it's just, like, starting to make it more, like, fluent now. Like, oh, now we're getting why he... Oh! And, he just said, I'm trying to save as much people as I can. Then he said, just like Nika. And, he kind of pissed off the Gorosei. He's like, that is precisely why you people need to be erased. And we hear, hold it, Rocks. You're in my way, Roger. And the narrator goes on and says, this fateful incident would soon be obscured by the shadows of history. There's like, oh my god, dude. Bro, there are so many important people in God Valley. This is why I would love to see, a spinoff with the Whitebeard, a spinoff with the Rocks, spinoff with the Roger. Because there's shit like this. I don't know how in-depth Oda's gonna go into this. And I hope he really goes more in-depth. Like, we see some of the fighting. But like, oh my gosh, dude. Now, we cut back to the kingdom of Sorbet. And Ivanka was like, so they only ended up reporting Garp's heroism, huh? This Morgans is nothing but a hack. He prints what the world's top brass want. In the end, we still have no idea what the heck really happened on that island. Just how long are you planning to pray like this, Kuma? And we see Kuma and he's praying. He's like in a church because we have like the church. Oh, this is where he gets his Bible maybe. He's like, I keep thinking I could have saved more people back there. And he's like, stop talking nonsense. You saved over 500 souls during that mess. That's right. You were amazing, Kumachi. And the fact that Kuma actually told the Gorosei, hey, I'm going to use this power and I'm going to save people. There was 10,000 civilians, but just the fact that he saved even 500 is crazy. Now, it says here that Kumachi is like, you know, a nickname for teddy. You know, like a teddy bear, because Kuma is bear in Japanese. Ivankov says, those hands of yours can bless people with freedom. They're hands of liberation. Wow, dude. That's so cool. And he looks at his hands and he sees the paw on it. And he's like, hands of liberation. And remember, his father told him, the warrior, you know, of liberation, Nika. Oh shit, dude. This is so cool. Ivankov's like, to think that you live in a church. But I guess that is your personality. And Ivankov's like, well then, I'm off to sea. I'm gonna bask in my freedom. And he's wearing like his tank top. He's like bandaged up. He's just wearing underwear like always, a Speedo. And he's like, alright, I'm leaving. Have fun, you two. And Kuma's like, I'll never forget your face for as long as I live. Remember at Marineford when Ivankov was like so much in desperation? He's like, Kuma, it's me, Ivankov. And Kuma was like, cannot detect, does not know. And he started blasting him. Bro, yo, see what I mean when it goes, oh, with the things, with the callbacks and shit? Well, Ivankov goes on and says, pah, I hope no one ever does. Now, Guinea says, sorry, I'm not coming with you, big bro. I want to stay with Kuma while I think about what I'm going to do with my life. See, that's Bonnie's mother. There's no way it's not Bunny's mother. Now we see Kuma and Guinea, and they're both like, yeah, woo, take care. And then Ivankov is like, take care, my friends. Now Guinea goes on and says, now then, since I'm 4 years older than you, she goes on and says, you can leave it to your big sis to work out how we're gonna feed you. And Kuma's like, what? Okay, so maybe they don't end up being a couple. I don't know. Oh, and then this is the callback to when Oda drew the warlords as kids, and he drew like Kuma like all bandaged up, so he drew Kuma after the events. Okay, see, so, you know, everything's starting to put together. And Guinea's in the background like, split that log, Kumachi! And she's like, no more dumpster diving and stealing for us. Let's work hard and buy our food from now on. And we see some kids, and they're like, what? There's no way you're not. And they start throwing like rocks at him, being bullies and shit. And he's like, and he's just doing this. And Guinea, she's tiny, goes on and starts smacking the shit out of these kids. And she's like, pick on someone your own size. Because she's small. Even though these kids were just bullying him, smacking him around and throwing rocks at him, he goes towards them and says, sorry about that. Guinea's a really nice girl. And he taps their head, boop, and he takes the pain away. And the kids are like, huh? I feel better. The pain's been blown away. Did you do some magic? And Kuma's just smiling. And we see Guinea, and she's like, willy-nilly, silly, oh, Kumachi, Kumachi. And in the translator notes, it says, this is supposed to be like a reference towards the Winnie the Pooh theme song. I don't remember it, but that's interesting to know. End of chapter. No break next week. What an awesome chapter. I think this is a long-ass video, too. Now, we get like an extra page just to see like a little more behind their lives. And we see Kuma and Guinea. And they're both sitting at a table and they're eating. And Guinea's eating like crazy. And Kuma's like, you still hungry? And he gives her like a plate of like potatoes or whatever this is. And she's like, it's so good. Oh, see? There it is. Kuma says, you're a real glutton, Guinea. Let's keep up the hard work. Jewelry Bonnie, the glutton? Come on, man. This has to be, his future wife. And then she goes on and says, Kumachi, how old were you when you became a slave? And he's like, 4. And she's like, me too. And she goes on and says, I'm full. My belly's actually full. And he turns around and she's just bawling her eyes out. And she's so happy because she's like, for the first time in my life, my stomach is full and I feel great. And Kuma's like, oh, come on, don't cry. And then he starts crying and they're both crying and they're like, I'm just so happy. And at the bottom we see their first taste of peace and hope. Official end of chapter. Wow, guys. This was incredible. This was such a good chapter. There were so many cool references for here, for there, and a bunch of other stuff. I can't wait for the next chapter. This was a long-ass video. If you watched it, thank you. If you didn't and you cut off, well, you're probably not watching this. So either way, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.